Could you please state your rank, your name, your first and last name?
Yeah, Colonel Robert Meade.
And can you spell that out for me, please?
M-E-A-D-E.
Your first name as well, please.
R-O-B-E-R-T M-E-A-D-E.
So, right now, what is your current billet and what unit do you belong to?
I'm the commanding officer of Special Purpose Marine Air Ground Task Force, Southern Command.
And how long have you been in the Marine Corps for?
It will be 25 years in May of 20, so a little over 24 years right now.
And what is your hometown?
Greenville, Tennessee.
So now that Unitas is complete, what's next for this SP MAGTF?
Well, we're currently in the process of deploying to an exercise and a subject matter expert exchange in Coveñas, Colombia. In fact, our ADVON has already departed, and the main body and 3 of our CH-53s will depart this week in order to deploy down to Coveñas. We will operate with the Colombian Marine Corps for several days, about a week time, and then we will redeploy at the conclusion of the subject matter expert exchange and exercise.
What does the SP MAGTF want to accomplish during this Colombia HADR rehearsal and subject matter expert exchange?
Yeah, well, we have a whole host of objectives that we want to accomplish. I would say, you know, starting at the top, obviously exercising our core mission set of HADR, crisis response, is up there. We're also going to utilize our own organic capabilities as well as strategic airlift to deploy the SP MAGTF to Coveñas. We are going to establish command and control, and we're going to C2 all of our organic capabilities, plus we're going to establish a civil military operations center where we're going to inject measles, and we are going to run through a scenario just as though we were in a real-world HADR response situation. In addition to that, we are going to be partnering with the Colombian Marine Corps, and we're going to see how they conduct HADR operations, and we're going to exchange ideas, and we're going to develop better interoperability between the Colombian Marine Corps and the U.S. Marine Corps, and we're going to see where that takes us.
So in what ways can and will the HADR exercise influence the region, all the way from the Caribbean down to South America?
Yeah, I think that what it'll do is it'll show, one, the partnership between the U.S. and the U.S. Marine Corps and the Colombian Marine Corps, and it'll also show the commitment of the United States and our abilities to support anywhere in the region a case where there is a disaster response requirement. And so I think what the region can take away from this is that the United States is a great partner, and we have a capability in the region from June to December, and we've got the region's back.
So what does success look like to you, and how will you measure it during and after the training evolution?
Yeah, I say success looks like first a successful deployment. We get all of our personnel, all of our gear down there safely. I believe once we set up and establish command and control, and we begin to exercise some of the scenarios that we've developed for the mission, and then ultimately, I believe identifying those areas where we can gain some interoperability from our Colombian partners becomes really key in this evolution. And so again, you know, our ability to self-deploy and our ability to plug in with a partner is really just a core capability of this SP MAGTF. That's what we trained for 3 months in Lejeune. That's what we've continued to train for here. That's what we worked on with an amphibious twist in Unitas. And this is almost like a culminating exercise, if you will. It brings all those things together. It puts more SP MAGTF capabilities into the exercise. And so I think success looks like us doing our mission the way it was intended to be done and doing it very well.
So how will this Colombia exercise help build the SP-MACTF upon its HADR response capabilities?
Yeah, I'd say much in the same way that that I talked about. It's more reps and snaps on our core mission set. And so, you know, every time in the Marine Corps we train towards our mission. And in particular, when you throw a few more complications and a few more twists and a few more significant movements involved there, Marines learn from that. All right, they learn from having to work through the planning process. They learn through coordination and all of the different entities that they have to coordinate and tie in with in order to put something like this together. And so, you know, I think it's pretty clear how the SP-MACTF is ultimately going to benefit from this. We're going to become stronger, more capable, and more prepared in the event of a real-world mission.
Through its participation in UNITAS and various training with U.S. partner nation militaries, how has the SP-MACTF learned from partner military doctrines?
Yeah, I would say that that during the course of our evolution down here, we have in the Southcom AOR, we've spent a lot of time working with our partners. All right, we spent a lot of time working with a multitude of partners during UNITAS, and we've noticed that there are a lot of things that we do with some of our partners that are very similar, but we might use different formats than they use, and we might have a different way that we orchestrate it than they do. But largely, they're the same kind of thing. I'll give you an example. Is we realized that the 9-line brief that our partners in UNITAS use is different than the NATO 9-line brief that we use. And so there were areas during this interaction that by making some very simple adjustments, then we can both be on the exact same sheet of music for potentially future operations and what might be the need to contribute to a larger regional or global security architecture in the future.
So can you speak on how the region has opened training opportunities for U.S. forces?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple different ways I believe that the region opens training opportunities. For one, if you're talking about Central America in particular, this is not that geographically distant from the continental United States. And yet there is terrain down here, and there are partner nation military forces that we can operate with and that we can operate in that is very different than some of the things that we can do in the United States. Jungle warfare, for example, is a competency that we can train to very well in Central America that is not readily available in the continental United States. And so I would say that's one example of that. I'd say another training opportunity is a lot of our partners have amphibious capabilities that they have a desire to build upon. And there's no better force in the entire world than the United States Marine Corps at conducting amphibious operations. And so by us partnering with our partner nations that are building their amphib capabilities, then we have an opportunity to not only get Marines aboard amphibs, but also build interoperability at the same time with some of our key partners in the region. And so those are just a couple of small examples, I believe, but there are a multitude of training opportunities from cold weather training to jungle warfare training to combined arms training in the desert, all that can be done with U.S. and partner forces in the Central America and South America areas.
Every year, the SP-MACTF builds upon the last in terms of integrating partner nations and militaries and its ranks. How has the SP-MACTF SC-19 set the stage for further inclusion of partner military in the future?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, In SP MAGTF 18, they had one partner nation officer that joined the SP MAGTF. It was a Colombian lieutenant colonel who joined on as the deputy commander. We have taken that to the next level, and we've actually joined partners from Colombia, from Peru, from Chile. We've got partners from Brazil. We have a partner from Argentina on the staff. And we also had an LNO from Belize. And so we have taken that really at this point to the next level. And I would say really more importantly than just the numbers of partners that we've had on the SP MAGTF is how we've actually included them in our day-to-day activities and operations. And what I mean by that is we have fully integrated these partner nations into our staff. I'll give you an example. So the Colombian officers, 3 of them, and one of the Brazilian officers and the Peruvian officer all joined us while we were in Camp Lejeune. And so they went through the training with us, pre-deployment training. They were there with us during certification exercise. We were able to get them integrated into their billets very early into the SP MAGTF. And even though they were trying to absorb all of the differences between the way that their country's militaries operate and the differences in language and the differences in the organizations, they very quickly begin to assimilate into the staff. And so now, 3 months into the deployment, you really can't tell the difference relative to the use of our partner nation officers. You can't tell the difference between them and a Marine or a sailor on the staff. They're fully integrated. The Colombian officers and the Brazilians and really all of them for that matter developed a jungle warfare course that we have been sending the SP MAGTF Marines and sailors through. The Colombian officers and the Brazilian officers put together most of the detailed work associated with this Colombia exercise that we're currently in the process of executing. And so I would say that we have paved the way really for all of the future SP MAGTFs in how we assimilate and how we fully employ our partner nations. And I would tell you, I think that this is truly a fully integrated multinational force.
Can you explain how successful the SP MAGTF has been with naval integration?
Yes, I would say every opportunity that we've had, we have capitalized on naval integration opportunities. I'll give you a couple examples. During exercise UNITAS, we had the opportunity to embark aboard the USS Carter Hall, as well as the Brazilian amphib, the Bahia. And we operated for several days, a week at sea, and then we conducted and were part of a multinational amphibious landing in the exercise area. Also, as the USS Carter Hall transited back up the eastern coast of South and Central America, we utilized the availability of that platform to get deck landing quals for our CH-53 detachment in order to keep them current. And so we have capitalized and jumped on every opportunity we could for naval integration. But I honestly think there's probably even more opportunities in the future, be it with U.S. vessels that are in the region or with our partner nation vessels. I think that the SP MAGTF could benefit greatly from finding additional means to really capitalize on all of the naval resources in the region and really fully become a multinational maritime task force.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or cover that we didn't expand upon already?
No, I would just say that the SP MAGTF Southcom is a great opportunity for the Marines and sailors that are part of it. We take pleasure every day in working with the very professional partners that we have in the region, both Central American and South American partners. And we look forward to the Colombia exercise and the 2 months remaining upon completion of that exercise. And so I think there's a ton of positive learning experiences that have come out of this SP MAGTF, and we look forward to a lot more in the future.
Thank you for your time, sir.
All right, thank you.